chosen ones, your silence is breaking them. They can't believe you never contacted them again. There is something very deep and powerful happening around you right now, something so quiet, yet so intense, that if you do not hold on to this moment, you may miss a turning point that has been prepared for your life with great care and divine love. Your silence is not empty, and it is not weakness, because it carries a strength that even those who walked away from you cannot understand anymore. They expected you to chase, to explain, to return, but what they see now is something that shakes them deeply, because you chose peace over noise and dignity over desperation. If you agree with this truth, type 1313 in the comments. This is not just a story, it is a reflection of what God is doing inside your life right now, shaping you in ways that are unseen but deeply felt in your spirit. There is a quiet transformation taking place within your heart, one that is guided by the gentle and loving presence of Lord Jesus Christ, who is teaching you how to stand firm without needing to prove your worth to anyone who failed to see it before. The silence you carry is not cold or distant, but it is filled with healing, patience, and a kind of strength that only comes when God begins to rebuild a soul from the inside out. If you believe in this divine process, type 2222 in the comments. Every moment that you chose not to reach out, not to return to what once hurt you, became a step closer to the peace that God has always wanted you to feel. There is something deeply emotional about the way they now think about you, because they cannot understand how you found the courage to walk away without looking back, without leaving doors open for confusion or pain to return again. Your silence has become a mirror for them, showing them what they lost and what they failed to value when they had the chance to hold it close. This is not about revenge or pride, because God does not work through bitterness, but it is about restoration and clarity, allowing you to move forward without the weight of past disappointments pulling you down. Within this journey, Jesus is gently guiding your heart, reminding you that you were never meant to chase after love that required you to shrink yourself or silence your truth just to be accepted. The love that comes from God is steady, peaceful, and full of light, and it does not leave you questioning your worth or your place in someone's life. Your silence became a sacred space where healing could begin, where your heart could breathe again without fear or confusion clouding your thoughts. There is also a moment right now where your support matters more than you realize, because your simple action can help this message reach someone who is quietly struggling and searching for hope. Please take a moment to like this video so that it can gently find its way into the life of someone who needs this comfort and reassurance today. This small act carries more meaning than you can see, because God often uses simple gestures to create powerful waves of healing and encouragement. The ones who thought you would return are now facing a silence that they cannot fill, because it speaks louder than any words you could have said before. They remember your kindness, your patience, and the way you stood by them even when things were not easy, and now they are realizing the value of what they once took for granted. This realization does not come to punish them, but it serves as a lesson that God allows in order to bring truth into the light. Your journey is not about what they feel or what they regret, but it is about what God is building inside you right now, something far more beautiful than anything you left behind. There is a peace growing within your soul that does not depend on anyone's presence or approval, and this peace is a gift that Jesus carefully places into your life as you continue to trust Him without hesitation. Every silent day, every moment of choosing not to go back, becomes a seed planted into a future that is filled with hope and clarity. There is a quiet confidence that now surrounds you, something that was not there before, and it is coming from the deep understanding that God is in control of your path. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself to those who misunderstood you, because you know that your truth is seen and held by a higher power that never overlooks your pain or your faith. This confidence is gentle, not loud, and it shines through your actions rather than your words. The silence that once felt heavy has now become a place of strength, where your heart rests without fear and your spirit grows without interruption. You are no longer tied to what once drained your energy or clouded your thoughts, and this freedom is something that only comes when God begins to heal the deepest parts of your soul. There is no need to rush this process, because every step is guided with care and purpose. Those who are thinking about you now cannot understand how you found this strength, because they remember the version of you that stayed, that cared deeply, and that gave more chances than anyone else would have. What they do not see is the quiet work of God in your life, slowly transforming your pain into wisdom and your silence into power. This is not something that can be explained, because it is something that is felt deep within your spirit. If you trust that Jesus is guiding you through this season, type 1111 in the comments. This is your reminder that you are not alone in this journey, and that every moment of silence you have embraced has been seen, understood, and blessed by God. There is a future ahead of you that is brighter, calmer, and filled with a love that does not require you to lose yourself in order to keep it. What if just 7 seconds a day could completely change your financial future? A recently uncovered CIA-linked document has revealed a powerful brainwave ritual that everyday people are using to break free from debt and attract real wealth. Backed by research from 4 neuroscience labs, this simple at-home method is helping people manifest new homes, luxury cars, financial freedom, and dream vacations faster than they ever imagined. Thousands are already using it, but there is a catch. This information may not stay online for long. If you are seeing this right now, consider it a sign. Click the link in the description and comments before this secret disappears forever. Are no longer reacting to every feeling or memory that tries to pull you back, because Jesus is teaching you how to stand in calmness even when your heart remembers everything you once felt. This is the kind of growth that cannot be rushed, and it is the kind that stays with you for the rest of your life. There are moments when memories return softly, bringing with them a mix of warmth and sadness, yet you are no longer controlled by them as you once were before. You are learning to observe those memories without losing yourself in them, and this is a sign that healing has truly begun within your heart. God is not asking you to forget what happened, because every experience has shaped who you are becoming, but He is guiding you to release the pain attached to those memories so they no longer weigh you down. In this quiet release, your soul is finding a new kind of freedom that feels both peaceful and deeply reassuring. The people who once expected your return are now facing the absence of your presence in a way that feels unfamiliar and heavy to them. They notice the silence where your voice once brought comfort, and they feel the space where your care once filled their lives with warmth and understanding. This realization is not something you created to hurt them, but it is something that naturally unfolds when someone begins to value their own peace and walk in alignment with God's will. What they feel now is the truth of your absence, and it carries a weight that no explanation could have ever delivered. There is something sacred about the way Jesus works in your life during this time, because He is not only removing what no longer belongs, but He is also preparing you for something that truly reflects His love. This preparation is happening quietly, without pressure, and without the confusion that once surrounded your decisions. You are being led into a space where clarity replaces doubt, and where peace replaces the constant need to prove your worth. This is not a small change, because it touches every part of your life, from your thoughts to your emotions, and even the way you see your future. Your silence has become a form of protection, a gentle boundary that allows your heart to heal without interruption or confusion. It is not about shutting people out, but it is about giving yourself the space to grow without being pulled back into cycles that once caused you pain. God understands the depth of what you have been through, and He honors your decision to step back and choose a path that brings you closer to Him. This path may feel lonely at times, but it is filled with purpose and guided by a love that never leaves you behind. There is also a quiet strength building inside you that does not need to be seen or praised by others, because it is rooted in your relationship with God. This strength shows itself in the way you remain calm when thoughts of the past arise, and in the way you continue moving forward without needing to look back for validation. It is a strength that comes from knowing that you are being guided, even when you cannot see every step ahead clearly. Jesus is walking with you in this silence, turning it into something powerful and life-giving. If you feel this quiet strength growing within you, type 1212 in the comments. This is not just a moment of agreement, but a way of affirming the work that God is doing inside your heart right now. Every small step you take in faith is seen and valued, even when it feels like nothing is changing on the surface. There is a deeper movement happening within you, and it is leading you toward a life that is filled with peace and clarity. The ones who once overlooked your presence are now beginning to understand the depth of what they lost, because your silence has revealed what your words could not fully express before. They remember the way you cared without holding back, and they feel the absence of that care in a way that is difficult for them to ignore. This realization may come slowly, but it comes with a clarity that cannot be undone. It is not about making them feel regret, but it is about allowing truth to surface in its own time. You are no longer defined by how others respond to you, because your identity is now rooted in something far greater than human approval or attention. God is shaping you into someone who carries peace within, regardless of what is happening around you. This transformation is not always easy, but it is deeply meaningful, because it changes the way you experience life on every level. You are becoming someone who does not need to chase after understanding, because you trust that God sees everything clearly. There is also a gentle reminder within your heart that you are not missing out on anything by choosing this path of silence and growth. What is meant for you will not pass you by, and what belongs in your life will find its way to you without confusion or struggle. Jesus is aligning things in ways that you cannot yet fully see, but you can feel the peace that comes with trusting His timing. This peace is not temporary, because it is built on a foundation that does not shake. There are times when you may wonder how things would have been if you had chosen differently, but those thoughts no longer hold the same power over you. You are learning to let them pass without attaching yourself to them, and this is a sign that your heart is healing deeply. God is not keeping you in this silence to deprive you of connection, but to prepare you for connections that reflect His love and truth. What is coming will not require you to lose yourself, because it will honor who you are becoming. Could a hidden CIA brain ritual be the missing key to wealth and abundance? A leaked report has exposed a shocking 7-second technique designed to reprogram the mind for financial success. Verified by 4 leading neuroscience labs, this simple daily ritual is helping ordinary people move from stress and debt into lives filled with money, luxury, travel, and opportunity. People who once struggled to pay bills are now experiencing financial breakthroughs they never thought possible. But warnings say this page could be removed at any moment. Click the link in the description and comments below to see why so many people are talking about it right now. The quiet moments you now experience are not empty, because they are filled with a presence that brings comfort and reassurance to your soul. You are not alone. even when everything around you feels still, because God is closer than ever during this time of growth. His love surrounds you in ways that do not need words, and His guidance leads you gently forward without pressure or fear. This is the kind of companionship that brings lasting peace, one that does not depend on anyone else's actions or choices. If you trust that God is working in your silence, type 1919 in the comments. This simple act of faith carries meaning because it reflects your belief in something greater than what you can see. Your journey is not defined by what you lost, but by what you are becoming through God's guidance and love. There is a purpose unfolding within your life, and every moment of silence is a step toward something beautiful. What once felt like loss is slowly revealing itself as protection, and what once felt like emptiness is now becoming a sacred space where your heart can finally rest without fear. Jesus is not just guiding your steps outwardly, but He is working within you, gently reshaping the way you respond to pain, to memories, and to the echoes of what once held your attention. This kind of transformation does not happen loudly, because it is meant to settle deep within your soul, where true change begins. There are moments when the quiet feels almost unfamiliar, especially when your life used to be filled with constant thoughts, emotions, and the need to respond to what others expected from you. Now there is a stillness that allows you to breathe differently, to think more clearly, and to feel without being overwhelmed by everything at once. This stillness is not something to fear, because it is a gift that God is placing into your life, so you can rediscover who you truly are without outside pressure. In this stillness, your identity is being rebuilt with truth instead of confusion, and with peace instead of emotional exhaustion. The people who once played a central role in your life are now watching from a distance, trying to understand how you became so steady and so unmoved by what once affected you deeply. They may revisit old conversations in their minds, remembering moments where they could have chosen differently, where they could have valued your presence more, or where they could have treated your heart with greater care. Your silence has become a quiet teacher in their lives, showing them lessons they are only now beginning to grasp. This is not because you intended to teach them, but because truth naturally reveals itself when noise fades away. God is allowing this process to unfold in a way that brings clarity to both you and them, even though your paths are no longer the same. While they are reflecting on what has been lost, you are moving forward into what is being prepared for you with great intention and love. Jesus is not leading you back into cycles that once drained your spirit, because His purpose is to guide you into a life that reflects His peace and His truth. This means that every step you take away from the past is actually a step towards something that aligns more closely with your purpose. There is also a gentle healing happening in the parts of your heart that once felt overlooked or unappreciated, and this healing is bringing a new sense of worth that does not depend on anyone else's recognition. You are beginning to see yourself through the lens of God's love, which is patient, kind, and unwavering in its care for you. This shift is changing the way you carry yourself, because you no longer seek validation in places that cannot provide it. Instead, you are finding a quiet assurance within that reminds you that you are already enough, just as you are. If you feel this sense of inner healing growing stronger each day, type 666 in the comments. This is not just a simple action, but a way of acknowledging the quiet work that God is doing within your life, even when it cannot be fully seen. Your journey is unfolding in a way that is both personal and deeply meaningful, and every step forward is guided by a love that never fails to hold you steady. There are times when you may feel a gentle pull to look back, not out of desire to return, but out of curiosity about what could have been or what might still be possible. In those moments, remember that God is not calling you to revisit what He has already helped you move beyond. Your path is forward, even when your thoughts momentarily drift backward, and your strength lies in continuing to walk in the direction that brings you peace. Jesus is always leading you toward growth, never toward confusion or emotional unrest. The silence you have embraced is also teaching you patience, something that cannot be learned in moments of chaos or urgency. You are discovering how to wait without feeling anxious, how to trust without needing immediate answers, and how to remain calm even when everything around you seems uncertain. This patience is shaping your character in ways that will serve you for the rest of your life, because it allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. It is a quiet strength that reflects a deep trust in God's timing. There is a noticeable change in the way you now handle your emotions, because you are no longer overwhelmed by them as you once were before. You are learning to sit with your feelings without letting them control your actions, and this is a sign of true growth and maturity. God is helping you understand that your emotions are valid, but they do not have to dictate your path or your decisions. This understanding is bringing balance into your life, allowing you to move forward with clarity instead of confusion. Imagine discovering a 7-second ritual so powerful that it could help erase debt and attract wealth almost instantly. According to a leaked CIA-backed study, this little-known brainwave technique is already transforming lives around the world. Supported by 4 neuroscience labs, the method is said to train your mind to attract money, success, and abundance naturally. From dream homes and luxury cars to unforgettable vacations, people claim their lives changed after using this simple practice. The shocking part? This information may be taken down soon. If you want to see what everyone is talking about, click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. The ones who are thinking about you now may feel a sense of disbelief, because they never imagined that you would truly step away and remain at peace without looking back. They expected hesitation, doubt, or even a return, but what they are witnessing instead is a quiet confidence that they cannot fully comprehend. This confidence is not something you created on your own, because it is rooted in your trust in God and in the healing that He is bringing into your life. It is a reflection of your growth, not a reaction to their absence. There is also a deeper understanding forming within you about what it means to truly let go, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. Letting go does not mean that you no longer care, but it means that you have chosen peace over attachment to what no longer serves your well-being. This choice is not always easy, but it is necessary for your growth and your healing. God is honoring this decision by guiding you into a place where your heart can feel safe again. If you trust that your path is being guided with purpose and care, type 2323 in the comments. This act of faith is a reflection of your belief in something greater than what you can see right now. Your journey is not random, and it is not without direction, because God is carefully leading you toward a future that is aligned with His love and His plan for your life. As you continue to move forward, there is a growing sense of calm that settles within you, replacing the urgency and restlessness that once filled your thoughts. You are no longer searching for answers in places that cannot provide them, because you have found a deeper source of peace within your relationship with God. This peace is steady, and it does not fluctuate based on external circumstances or the actions of others. It is a foundation that supports you through every season of your life. The silence that once felt uncertain has now become a place of clarity, where your thoughts are no longer clouded by confusion or emotional turmoil. You are seeing things more clearly, understanding yourself more deeply, and trusting your journey more fully than ever before. This clarity is a gift, one that allows you to move forward with confidence and without fear of repeating the past. It is a sign that your healing is real, and that your growth is lasting. There is something beautiful ahead of you, something that will reflect the peace and strength you have developed during this time of silence. It will not require you to chase, to prove, or to question your worth, because it will come with a sense of ease and alignment that feels natural and right. God is preparing this for you in ways that you cannot yet fully see, but you can trust that it will arrive at the perfect time. There is a quiet unfolding still taking place within you, something that feels almost invisible from the outside, yet it is shaping every part of your inner world with gentle precision. This silence you have embraced is now becoming a place where your soul feels safe enough to grow without fear of being misunderstood or overlooked again. Jesus is working in this hidden space, strengthening your heart so it no longer depends on what others choose to give or withhold. What once felt like a painful separation is now turning into a sacred distance that allows your spirit to rise into something stronger and more peaceful. You are beginning to notice that your thoughts no longer circle around the same old patterns, because there is a new awareness guiding the way you think and feel each day. There is less confusion, less emotional noise, and more clarity that gently leads you forward without pressure or urgency. This clarity is not something you forced into your life, because it came naturally when you chose to step back and allow God to take control of what you once tried to manage on your own. In this surrender, you have found a calmness that feels steady and deeply comforting. The people who once assumed you would always be there are now sitting with the realization that your presence was never something they could take for granted. They feel the difference in ways that are difficult for them to explain, because your absence carries a quiet weight that words cannot replace. Your silence has become something they cannot ignore, because it reveals the depth of what you once gave so freely. This is not about creating distance out of anger, but about honoring your own peace and allowing truth to stand on its own. God is not only guiding you away from what no longer serves your heart, but He is also preparing you for connections that will feel natural, respectful, and aligned with your spirit. These future connections will not confuse you or leave you questioning your place, because they will reflect the kind of love that Jesus teaches, one that is steady, kind, and filled with understanding. You are being led into something that feels right without needing to force anything into place. This preparation is happening quietly, but it is shaping something beautiful ahead of you. There are moments when you feel a deep sense of gratitude for how far you have come, even though the journey itself was not easy to walk through. You remember the times when your heart felt heavy, when your thoughts were filled with uncertainty, and when you tried to hold on to something that was slowly slipping away. Now you stand in a different place, one where your heart feels lighter and your mind feels clearer. This change is not small, because it reflects the healing that God has been carefully bringing into your life. If you feel grateful for the peace that is growing inside you, type 2020 in the comments. This simple expression carries meaning because it acknowledges the quiet transformation that has taken place within your heart. Every step you have taken has led you here, and every moment of trust has allowed God to guide you forward with care. A shocking CIA document just revealed a 7-second brain ritual that some people say is changing their financial lives overnight. What makes this different is that 4 neuroscience labs reportedly tested the method and confirmed its unusual effects on focus, confidence, and money attraction. People drowning in debt claim they are now attracting unexpected income, luxury cars, dream homes, and once impossible opportunities. The strange part? This information keeps disappearing online. If this video found you, do not ignore it. Click the link in the description and comments now, before access is removed. There is also a deeper understanding forming within you about what it truly means to be valued, because you no longer accept anything that requires you to question your worth or silence your truth. You have learned that real connection does not come with confusion or emotional instability, but with clarity, respect, and consistency. This understanding is protecting you now, guiding your decisions, and helping you recognize what aligns with your spirit and what does not. It is a wisdom that only comes through experience and healing. The silence you hold is no longer something that feels uncertain, because it has become a place of strength where your heart rests without needing to prove anything to anyone. You are not waiting for someone to notice your absence or to realize your value, because you have already found that value within yourself through your connection with God. This shift changes everything, because it frees you from the need to seek approval in places that cannot offer it. You are standing in a space where your peace is your priority. There is a quiet assurance growing within you that what is meant for you will not require you to chase after it or hold on to it with fear. What belongs in your life will come with ease and clarity, without the confusion that once surrounded your experiences. Jesus is guiding these things into place in His perfect timing, and your role is simply to trust and remain open to what He is bringing. This trust is not forced, because it grows naturally as you continue to walk in faith. The people who are reflecting on your absence may feel a sense of regret, but that is part of their own journey and their own understanding of what has passed. Your focus is no longer on what they feel or what they wish had been different, because your path is moving forward into something new. God is not calling you to return to what has already served its purpose, because He is leading you into a future that aligns with your growth. This forward movement is where your peace continues to expand. There is also a softness in your heart that remains, even after everything you have experienced. And this softness is not weakness, but a sign of your strength and your ability to love deeply. God is not taking this away from you, because it is part of who you are, but He is teaching you how to protect it, so it is shared in the right places and with the right people. This balance allows you to remain open without being vulnerable to the same kind of pain again. It is a gentle protection that keeps your heart safe. If you trust that God is preparing something better for your life, type yes in the comments. This is not just a statement, but a reflection of your belief in the journey you are on and in the guidance you are receiving. Your path is unfolding in a way that brings peace and clarity, and every step forward is leading you towards something that feels right. There is a calm confidence now present within you, something that does not need to be spoken loudly, because it is felt in the way you carry yourself and in the choices you make each day. You are no longer easily shaken by what others say or do, because your foundation is stronger and more secure than it has ever been before. This confidence is rooted in your relationship with God, and it gives you the strength to continue forward without hesitation. It is a quiet strength that speaks through your actions. The silence you have embraced is not taking anything away from your life, but it is making space for something far greater to enter. It is clearing away what no longer belongs, so that what truly aligns with your spirit can find its place without resistance. This process may feel slow at times, but it is steady and intentional, guided by a wisdom that sees beyond what you can currently understand. God is working with care, shaping your future in ways that will bring lasting peace. As you continue on this journey, remember that your silence is not something to question or doubt, because it is part of the path that is leading you toward healing and growth. You are not behind, and you are not missing out on anything, because everything that is meant for you is being prepared with perfect timing. There is a sense of trust growing within you that allows you to move forward without fear, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. What lies ahead is not something that will confuse your heart or challenge your sense of worth, because it will come with a clarity that feels natural and right. It will reflect the peace you have chosen and the strength you have developed during this time of silence. God is aligning things in a way that honors your journey and the growth you have embraced. This is only the beginning of something that will bring deeper joy and fulfillment into your life.